Hi, welcome to the Senior Network. I'm your host, Gregg Fulton. Today we're joined by Natalie Lucas, Optimal Hearing.
How are you today?
I'm awesome. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Love the color.
Thank you. Spring, summer.
Exactly. Well, tell me, speaking of spring, summer, we were talking in the lobby before we came in. I know we've gone into depth over a lot of shows about it, but kind of going back to the very beginning, you were bringing up the fact of what are the signs, what's it look like when you start to lose your hearing? What is that process like?
Well, you know, too often I see people who wait until they literally cannot communicate effectively at all to come into my office. And the fact of the matter is, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to adapt and adopt hearing aids. And the best fits in hearing aids are people that start early and grow into them. And so the beginning stages of hearing loss, a lot of people don't recognize simply because they don't know what they're missing. Beginning stages of hearing loss may look like turning up the TV more than you used to turn it up. Going out to a noisy restaurant and finding yourself straining, or noticing, gosh, I'm asking people to repeat a lot more often. It's more often subtleties. And when you wait until you can't hear at all or can't hear much, you've kind of waited too long, you know? And I say that not completely truthfully. We can always start, but the better fitting results start early. And it's why I urge everybody to find out when you start getting into your 40s or 50s, find out what your hearing loss looks like now before it starts getting bad. Get a baseline, understand what's going on, and then start paying attention to the signs. You know, am I turning that TV up too much? Am I struggling to hear on the phone? Do I really have trouble in the crazy crab on a Friday night? You know? Those types of things are kind of clues. It's time to get it checked out.
I know, and you owe me a visit because last show you got me enticed with that in the 50s that I need to get in there and get that baseline.
It's very important, and I'm starting to see more and more people do it. And it's fun for them. That's educational. I try to always make it engaging. It's kind of like playing a TV game show, getting a hearing test. You know, come in and find out, because once you know, then you a little bit know better what to look for.
And what's coming.
And what's coming. And learning something about it. We don't question getting our eyes checked.
No.
Why do we question getting our hearing checked? I would argue hearing is vitally more important than seeing to the quality and enjoyment of our lives.
Exactly. Is there any correlation between the two?
Between hearing loss and vision loss? Not necessarily, no. There are some diseases that can cause hearing loss. There's some diseases of the eye that also include some hearing loss. They're pretty rare. It's typically two separate things, but they're one of our major senses. And too often, we just let them go. And you don't want to ever let any major sense go. There's a reason why it's there. And you want to stimulate your brain as much as anything else.
Now, is there any, I think I know the answer to this, but is there any reversing the loss?
Unfortunately, if you have a sensory neural hearing loss, which is damage to the little hairs, the cilia that line the inner ear, those types of hearing losses cannot be reversed. They may level off and stay the same, they may continue to decline, but they're not getting better. A conductive loss, which is a physical blockage of sound reaching the inner ear, those can be improved and remedied by a doctor.
And what do you mean by blockage? Meaning?
For instance, if you had an impaction of earwax, if you had fluid or infection in your middle ear, sometimes scarier things like tumors, or acoustic neuromas. Those are blocking the sound from reaching the inner ear, and those are something that should be treated by a medical doctor and can be corrected.
Absolutely. So if someone came and did an initial testing baseline with you, you would probably be able to see some of those things and then refer them to a medical doctor. Is
Absolutely. It's critically important. Part of our testing is looking for what we would call red flags. If we see them, we are required legally to refer to a medical doctor to get further checked out and clearance before we can move forward with hearing aids.
Absolutely. Anyone has any concerns and want that baseline, please call Natalie Lucas.
Yes, Optimal Hearing in Hilton Head and Bluffton, as well as Savannah and surrounding areas.
Absolutely. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Stay with us, more to come here on the Senior Network.